to my YouTube channel. Thank you for coming back. And so in today's video, we're talking about lesson notes and how to write a perfect lesson note. I don't want to say perfect lesson note, but I would say rather a good lesson note, because most times people just generally have their own view of lesson notes. Some people tell you it has to be written like this or it has to be written like this. I, for one, when I was in school, like during my undergraduate days, the way I was taught to write the lesson notes was not the way I was told to write it when I started teaching. So there is always a contradiction. In fact, I've worked in about 4 or 5 schools now, including my teaching practice, 4 or 5 schools now, and in every of the school they always have a different way of writing lesson notes. And so I'm going to be talking about this, like my current job right now. I am sorry, I'm filming in the school, so these noises are normal. So I'm going to be talking about how I write it in this particular school where I teach, and this is a public school. I've also taught in another public school, and the lesson notes, in fact, the pattern was not the same thing. So it's not a function of all public school write lesson notes in the same way. Okay, so in this one, in fact, first shocker of lesson notes is the fact that I have to write 3 periods in this school, and I was taught to write only 1 period. Like, it's only 1 period I was taught to write, and so when I was taught to write 3 periods, I was like, are these people whining me or what? But then they have their own reasons and they have their own explanations why they have to write like 3 periods. So let's get down to work. So you start by writing a date. I don't know if we can see this. A date, your date, then the class. I feel like these things are all repetition. The subject, the topic, the subtopic. Like for me, firms and industry, they are this is the major topic for the week. And so I'm going to break it down to probably this week talking about only firm. So my subtopic is going to be firm. Okay, then I move to duration, 45 minutes. Teaching aids. I said this whole thing is confusing. Where I was taught, like during my undergrad, your teaching aid, your textbook can never be your teaching aid. But here, if your textbook is your teaching aid, it's not really a problem. So I have textbook as my teaching aid here. Previous knowledge, students learn basic economics, SS1. So students learn basic economic problem in the previous class. Reference book, the book that I'm going to be using. So I'm using Essential Economics for senior secondary school. Then behavioral objective. I move down to behavioral objective. By the end of the lesson, students should be able to, then you go back to your cognitive, your affective domain, and then your psychomotive domain. But I don't really know how to bring psychomotive domain to this particular topic, except I want to say, okay, in terms of psychomotive domain, students should visit a firm. So my the cognitive aim is going to be, by the end of the lesson, students should be able to define firm, and then affective, they should be able to talk about or mention the various types of firms. And I will talk about this here. Previously, I was taught that you have to use special words when you are dealing with the affective domain. Like, you don't use students should be able to know, because you cannot measure if the students actually know or they don't know. But I feel like evaluation should make you know if they know or they don't know. But then it was said at that particular place that you should not use the word students should know. I have a problem with it, but then you just have to work with every new person that you meet and give them whatever it is they want. And so down to content, the definition of a firm, that's step 1. Then step 2 is going to be the types of firm, and then step 3, which is the psychomotive. I said, except I want to write psychomotive, then I would be like, they should visit a firm. But if I don't want to, I think 2 domains are okay. And when you're done with that, you move to evaluation. I prefer writing my evaluation like this. The teacher evaluates the pupils by asking questions based on the topic discussed. This may not be like the perfect one, because they are always like, I said it earlier, every school have their own way of writing lesson notes, but this is my own way that I prefer. And then your summary, after evaluation, you move to your summary. I prefer writing that the teacher summarizes the lesson by re-emphasizing basic points. And I've seen a place where someone wrote, the teacher summarizes the class. And I'm like, at least still lost how you're summarizing the class, right? So I feel like it's better when you say the teacher summarizes the lesson by re-emphasizing key points in the lesson. And then conclusion, the teacher concludes by giving the pupils notes on the topic discussed. And then you move over to assignments. And in my assignments here, I wrote the student should first define a frame, then mention the types of frame. And when you're writing your assignments, they should be able to tally with your behavioral objectives. So your assignment is just like you evaluating the pupils based on your behavioral objective. And I think that's basically it. This is a simple way of writing lesson notes. Again, your date, class, topic, subtopic, duration, teaching aids, previous knowledge, behavioral objective. You move to your content, and then evaluation, summary, conclusion, and then assignment. This is for first period. Second period, you do the same thing. Third period, you do the same thing. And I said it earlier, when you have a topic, you break it down to 3 parts. Not like 3 domains, so 3 parts. Like, okay, first they are going to learn about the frame in this first period. Second period, they are going to learn about maybe industry. And then in third period, we could just do like a recap of firms and industry and probably bring it to real life situation.